Oh, you know what? Do you want me to bring the belt down? Okay, cool. I haven't named her yet, but isn't she pretty? Let's see. Like so much hard work, so much detail too. Do you see these like side plates? That's crazy. It's heavy too. Do you want to hold it? You're like, no.
Hey, what we talking about? We talking. Hey, yeah.
I'm Trish. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm an independent wrestler. Wrestling is something I got into when I was very, very young. My father would sit and have me and my 5 brothers around the TV, and we would all just sit and we would watch wrestling, and that's kind of where it started. I was too young to really understand what was going on, but I could see all their excitement, and over time I got more and more excited about it myself.
6-person intergender tag team.
Let's Lucha on YouTube for all your Lucha and wrestling needs, baby.
Trish Adora.
I joined the Army when I was 19, and I just thought that I was never gonna be a wrestler at that point. I just kind of thought that the door was closed on that, and that, you know, something about me growing up and maturing or things like that. But I never really forgot about wrestling. I never really could. So at the end of my term, I packed everything up in DC and I moved down to Florida. Didn't have a plan. I didn't really do too much research. I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm going to Florida because that's where all the wrestlers, you know, that's where all the wrestlers are made. So
please doubt everything you think about me.
I had a little bit of failure to launch, just trying to figure out where to stay. I didn't have anywhere to stay for a small amount of time. So just trying to like get back on my feet and, you know, navigate. I was determined to make it work. I just could not go back home. There's no way I could go back home and face everybody, you know. The Dudley Boys had a whole school in Florida, and I went to visit a couple times, and everybody was like super chill, super nice. I signed up about 2-3 months later, and it was the smartest thing I've ever done.
Please doubt everything you think about me.
I wasn't particularly athletic per se. I had a little growing pains as far as wrestling goes. A lot of the times in the Army, they're preparing you essentially for a war. You have to be able to, you know, pick yourself up. You have to be able to put yourself down if you need to. You have to be able to, you know, you have to use firearms and things like that. But with wrestling, there's like a totally different discipline to it. The mentality that I had in the Army is a little bit different from the mentality that I have to be a successful wrestler. Training your body to be able to just take multiple hits, you know, you kind of gotta take them with a smile, so to speak, to be able to get back up and do more movements over and over again. When you take that first bump, it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling, you know, and to be able to like get back up and do it again, and to be wrong a few times too. A lot of the times, there's very little, as far as wrestling goes, there's very little that I was able to get off the first try, you know what I mean? So just being comfortable with failing a bunch, really, in front of a lot of people, in front of people that you admire. You know, imagine like Devon's looking at me and I'm just like, well, I haven't retained the information the way you thought I did, you know? And he's like, all right, do it again. I signed up Team 3D Academy May 2015. I didn't debut on the independents until September 2016. So I ended up training there once I was on the independents for another year and a half, another 2 years.
Wow, just stepping.
Butch pop.
I was a mess. I wasn't doing well. I wasn't happy with anything I was putting out. I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy in the relationship that I was in. And I just wanted to come home, you know?
Trish came out all smiles, but those smiles have turned into aggression. And now, trying to hyperextend the elbows using the ring ropes.
What happened was I actually visited home and I got a chance to like see my mom after like not seeing her for a little while. And you know, I told her, I was like, hey, I'm just not doing well. And she said, well, you always have, you know, a place here. You can always come back no matter what. And I said, okay, I'll be right back. And so I put a couple things in storage, but I made my way back up. And I did want to continue wrestling. I did want to broaden my horizons. I wanted to see if I could hack it back home.
It's evident I'm in my element, came from the earth, I flow like the wind, pure as the water. To bring you this fire is what I desire for all of my kin. There I was burnt, felt so familiar, I was like, fucking, let's do it again.
Fun Boys. She's in fact the queen of
I was like, fucking, let's do it again.
Gets an
Fucking, let's do
opening.
it again.
She
Ayy.
capitalizes in the capital
Let's do
city.
it again. Ayy. Okay. Fucking, let's do it again.
I moved back to DC in June of 2018. It feels good to, you know, be able to start over, or not exactly start over, but to sort of continue a journey somewhere else, you know, somewhere where I feel that I'm safe, you know, and home here in DC, I feel like I'm safe, you know, and that was important.
We should be relaxing, yo, but you are acting corny ass patching clothes. Just another fight, what you packing for? We get pissed and this acting so. The best edition of our definition. Well, I guess we miss one like Jackson 4.
Again, this time off the road.
Tell what you know about me. You just know about me. Tell what you know, nigga. Tell what you know about me. Tell you just know about me. Tell what you know, nigga.
Hood Slam is the shit. It's awesome. I love Hood Slam. It's one of the first places that I started going to that really helped me come into my own as far as who I am. And I mean that outside of wrestling too.
Now they're one giving an inch. Trish now on a roll.
It's happening, I'm in my element, came from the earth, flow like the wind. Yo, as the water to bring you this fire is what I desire for all of my kin. They always burn, felt so familiar, I was like, fucking, let's do it again. I was like, fucking, let's do it again. I was like, fucking, let's do it again.
Trish is on fire. No.
It did a lot of wonders, you know, for my confidence.
Slams are down.
Hood Slam's a huge deal, you know, to be able to, you know, walk in there and to hold my own. That's, to be able to go into these rooms and really to be able to hold your own, those are key moments, you know.
I'm very not shit, very exotic. I'm extraordinary. I'm ordinary, but I'm not a potter. You wanna stop her? You know you can.
The last match, at that point, I was just buzzing. Right before my music hit, I just knew I had to go out there for a third time. My heart was just beating so fast. Like my throat was closing up. I was like trying to get my bearings together just because I knew I had to deliver. You know, my family, my mom was there. My uncle was there who had never seen me wrestle before. It was very important for me to show them that I could. Show myself that I could, really. This is like a full circle moment. This has scared me, like, can I wrestle, you know? This is just scared me in Florida, you know? Not really knowing, like, if I'm gonna be able to do it. Wrestling just takes so much time and so much money. And to be able to see that return on your investment in people's faces, you know, to see my mom so happy. Sorry. People consider me their peer. You know, people consider me even a leader, you know? And it's just going out there in that ring, just knowing what I had to do and knowing that I was gonna do it. It's just, I was gonna do it. I did it. I did it.
Trish Adora! Trish Adora! Trish Adora! Trish Adora!
Went to the doctor, I said, Dio. He said, for sure. I said, why'd you say for sure? Because I'm Dio. Dio, Dio.
Honored to be able to work for Primetime. I think that just having local companies is so important, and just to be able to work in front of my family, in front of my friends, I can't sing its praises enough. This is going to be my first title defense, so I'm pretty excited about that. Really, I'm very excited to be able to wrestle Ashton Starr. Of course, his star rises as the days go on, so, you know. I'm honored to be able to work with him. It's important to be able to showcase talent and people that would normally not get a chance. Like, if I say this 10 more times, I'm sorry, but it's really like within me to bring that out of people, you know. Somebody took a chance on me, you know, and that's how this is all happening. So I gotta make sure I pay that forward. I gotta make sure that I'm looking out for, you know, my people, you know, people that look like me, people that get left out, you know, people that are, you know, in the LGBT community and they just feel like they don't really have a voice, and they, you know, they have a place, you know, they have a place, they have a voice, and y'all are gonna hear what we gotta say. Mentally getting ready for wrestling, it's a little different from me. You know, just it's being ready to, you know, be in this large crowd. You know, it's getting ready to speak in front of this large crowd, wondering if I'm gonna fuck up in front of this large crowd.
I become unstoppable. Life is just an obstacle. Your insistence is violent.
You know, it's like that one big deep breath that you take right before you open up the door and go, hey, everybody, and you run up to everybody because you hadn't seen them in a while, It's preparing mentally is pretty much that deep breath for me.
See me with this, see me with this, see me with this. See me with that.
I learned so much about myself, and being able to prove that I could leave the nest, I could finally see something through. That's kind of what I hang on to with wrestling, is that I finally saw it through. I spent 8 years in the Army. I don't think that I joined the Army for me. I think, a lot of it was about appeasing my family.
Ain't gotta say, yeah, oh, I ain't scared of you, no. I say, yeah, oh, I ain't scared of you. Ain't gotta say, yeah, oh.
Wrestling was really the first thing I did because I wanted to do it, and I saw it through, and I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy I saw it through. And I'm gonna continue to see it through, so long as my body lets me. I mean, knock on wood.
But expect me to accept the nomination for exonerating these abominations. Yeah, I'll replace them. God's creation of the spawn of Satan for the answer to that. I'll be waiting to provoke your thoughts as an obligation with my niggas, and we spread that across the nation. And I came from my mom's basement while your whole life was a big long vacation. So I don't wanna hear no conversations about contemplations of condemnation. My compensation's not monetary while you operating like Tom and Jerry. Altercations are awfully scary when the object of them is so arbitrary. But look, be honest. All of your songs just be making me vomit. You'll probably end up with a job in the office while I'm making profit from thoughts of my conscience.